Hi, I'm Stavros. Good morning and welcome. And you join me today from Elite Painting in Ireland. Now behind me you'll see this SCANIA 164L V8 480. This is from 2003. It's covered 1.6 million kilometres, a million miles, and it's undergoing a complete refurbishment. An awful lot of work is being involved by John McGarry, the man behind all the work on this truck. So we'll be chatting to John and he'll be going down through in detail exactly what's happening this Scania. And I have John McGarry here beside me. So John, how are things?
Very good, Zabras, and yourself?
Thank you very much for having me here today to see the work you are carrying out on this Scania. So John, can you just walk us through in detail what it is you're doing with this truck?
Okay, this is a Scania 164 480. Customer bought a new one in 03. He has 1.6 million kilometres, million miles up on it. He has pretty much driven it all and looked after himself from day one, and he wants a nice refurbishment done on it. So what do you call a nice refurbishment? It's down to budget. How much do you want to spend? What are you going to do with the lorry afterwards? Yeah. So I have a nice bit of stripping down done on it. Time-wise, we're looking at 200 hours. So far, 200 hours, yeah. And this project probably will run into 500 hours, depending on lots of conditions and how it goes. You can't rush these jobs. Yeah. If you rush these jobs, you can make mistakes, and we don't want mistakes. They're too costly, time and everything else. So, we have a lot of stripping down done, and all the stuff we've stripped so far is prepared and painted, and we'll show you those later in a trailer. Have them outside. And John, you're sandblasting all of the chassis? Yeah, there's a lot more stripping to be done down on this, and all the pipe works and valves and everything, and anything that we can loosen and take off will be taken off, and any repairs that's needed, such as faulty pipes or connections or anything that looks dodgy, will also be repaired as well.
That's a temporary diesel
That's
tank.
Just, yeah, the other diesel tanks are all already done, and they're prepped and they're covered and they're outside. So
yeah, and we'll be taking a look at all of the parts painted and finished, ready to go on this truck, but there's still so there's still 300 more hours.
Yeah, we're looking at time-wise, we're looking at about 500 hours. That's what we're talking about.
Now, John, you were showing me there earlier, there is a crack in the cab right here.
Yeah, and that isn't too bad. I've seen those gone like a crow's foot, and as far as I know, Scania does it's like a bandage, for want of a better word, and you stick it onto it, or you can just clean that up and get it with the MIG, and you can repair it, make it good. It's just where the wind kit hangs off it.
But John, it's a huge amount of work. It's huge. Yeah,
but when you enjoy it and when you see the finished product, as we will, if you hold on in about 20 minutes time, you're going to see the fully finished job. It'll be worth it then.
Yeah, so there won't be any part 2 to this video, guys. You're going to see this truck finished in literally 15 minutes time, 20 minutes time.
Yeah, we'll be having
the same video.
We'll be having a cup of tea and we'll be back when it's all finished.
Yeah. So John, let's just have a quick look at your spray guns here.
This is a Satajet 5500. I'll be using this on the 2K paint on the cab, and also on the lacquer where we lacquer the wheels and the diesel tanks. And this is the Vilvus GTI ProLite, which we'll be using on a lot of the primer on the cab. And then up here we have a gun that I use for the...
this is a very handy one, John.
Yeah, I use this for just doing the chassis, and it's handy for getting it out. It's a pressure can, and you don't get a really good finish on it, but it's fine for a chassis and getting around valves and the likes of the holes in the chassis, and in through the springs and all that type of thing. It's a useful bit of equipment for the likes of doing a chassis. Some people doesn't use this, they use your ordinary gun for everything. I just use this for handiness sake,
awkward spots.
Yeah, and you have the likes of this. Then we could run into difficulty with this.
Oh yes.
Scania's, the V8s with the heat protecting system where it lies up against the chassis. Yeah. We could run into difficulty here.
Yeah, it's kind of heavily rusted there.
Yeah, that's a common fault. That may need a bit of attention later on. But when we come to that, we will go under that bridge when we come to it, or go over that bridge when we come to it, whichever the case may be. You're going to like this one, Zabras. You're going to like this one. This is your
door closing sound.
This is the door closing sound, which you are very familiar with in Scania. Now, this is finished, And it didn't always close this good. It certainly didn't close this good when it came in here. You know, and I think, no more than you, Zabras, I think when that sound is gone, it's the death of a legend. You know, it's really, I love that sound. The new Scanias are nice, but they sound like a Golf. That doesn't.
And John, it's very straight. You straightened this door, yeah?
Yeah, that door had to be straightened. It needed to be...
yeah, they're kind of notorious for dropping a bit.
They actually, the lines were touching on the top up there.
Yeah.
And the style lines are still a little bit off, but it's as good as I can get it. And if when it's closing that good, I'm just going to settle for that. I'm happy with that.
Sounds good to me.
And I think anybody else will too, you know.
And the side locker here, we just have a bit of rust
you'll
on.
always get the likes of that there. That just needs a bit of attention along the way. And you've likes of little dents here as well where the wind kits get into it. And you have all the little dents here where the curtains open and close.
It's only, John, when you realise, you know, with the sun visor taken off, you realise how much the top part of the cab sticks out from the windscreen, don't you? I'm that used to looking at this now.
Yeah. I don't pass any heed on it. But that windscreen will be coming out and that cab will be lifted off so we can get in and clean our engine and paint our engine. And
yeah, so there will be a new windscreen going into this, John.
Yeah, that's marked from just wear and tear of wipers down through the years, and it will be fitted with a new windscreen.
Yeah, because there's, you know, some scrape marks from wipers. You just can't get them out, John.
No, when you come to that, now, as well as that truck will be getting new brake discs, pads, fully serviced, oil leaks, everything will be. It's not too bad with rust, you know.
Yeah, we're just going to hop into the cab now as well. So, John, you were telling me that the owner is going to go with a darker colour on the inside, here all around the inside, in behind the back of the grille. So it won't be white here. It'll be
well. All the aluminium bits and the discoloured probably will be blended in with the white that was put on. There wouldn't be as much white on this as there will be on the outside of the cab to begin with, and the grey bits will be painted grey, and we'll probably matte black this in here. I would think so. You know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to give them a quick look inside the cab, John, and then we will show them the painted parts. So that is the original seat, John.
I believe it is. Yeah. I believe it is.
It looks the original seat to me anyway. So now the owner there was a bunk here, so it was, you know, the one that folds up against the back wall. So
yeah, I think he did a bit of butchering in there with beds and stuff like that, and ended up cutting the other bed and putting it up there or something.
Yeah.
We'll try and just make it nice when it's finished.
And inside. The top bunk is different as well. It looks as if
it was cut back.
It
was cut back, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's more or less a shelf now than a bed, I think.
Right. Yeah, but it's still fairly clean.
It is clean inside, and I think it'll be left original, and we're just going to clean it up and get it to blend in with the outside of the truck when it's all done.
Yeah, and he has the retarder there as well.
Yes, more trouble for painting around.
Right. And he got a different steering wheel. We'll show you that.
Now.
He got a recovered steering wheel. So, John, let's go outside and show them the parts inside the trailers.
Listen.
Yes. Okay, John, we're in the trailer here with all of the parts. What can you tell us?
Yeah, this is a fridge trailer. On a normal day, I paint maybe 4 or 5 pieces. Mm-hmm. Each of these pieces between primer and painting will probably get 7 or 8 coats of paint.
Wow.
And when they're fitted on the truck, then probably some of that will be sanded back down again with a wet sand and polished up. So usually I put in whatever I paint during the day. I run this at plus 32, and I'll run this for probably 24 hours at plus 32. So it gives a nice quick dry and finish to the paint, and it hardens it up.
Yeah, the paint finish, John, it's really good. You've done a great job.
It's not bad for a country lad, I must say now. You know?
How many coats are on them, John?
Between primer and finish paint, there is about 8 coats on everything there. But some of that will be, as I said, will be sanded down again, you know. Yeah. That's why I keep them on the bubble wrap. And the bubble wrap is nice because
I can see the reflection on it. It's really it looks thick. It looks like a really thick
It is nice,
coat.
Thick, creamy paint. Yeah, but when it's finished and when it's sanded down and polished up again, it'll give you a nice original Scania quality look of paint, which Scania always does a nice paint job. Those are all the single metallic silvers, and the wheels and all.
All the catwalk covers. Oh, there for the holding up the diesel tank.
Diesel tank brackets, accessories around the engine, bits and other pieces, and wiper assemblies, and and all that. And when those are put back on, most of those you'll never see again, but the rust is all gone, and they're going to be basically like fitting new parts, really. And we'll be getting all new nuts and bolts and screws from Scania for all the reassembly, which you will see in a few minutes.
So that is in at the back of the bumper, that whole section.
That's your bumper bar, which is light boxes and everything.
And then you have the rear mudguard mounting bars. Now these are notorious for rusting, John.
They are.
Especially up around here.
Well, if you look at this, if you look at this, again, those probably not the original ones, but they're ones that we have
God, you've done a great job.
Primed and painted, and they're not going to rust like your original Scania ones in 2 years' time or 3 years' time.
Yeah, they're very bad for rusting, those.
Yeah. But,
now let's have a look at the tanks, John. These, man, you've done some good job. But these are these, you know, the
steps on the battery box.
Yeah, the battery box steps. Yeah.
Okay. This is these tanks. These tanks would have got about between base. Lacquer and primer. You'll be looking at, there's probably 10 coats of paint there.
What?
They still look like they're wet, but and they have to be polished. Tanks are nice. Those are original aluminium tanks. They came on the truck. You know, when you walk up to your truck, it's nice to have a nice shiny tank, and it's very hard to keep aluminium polished all the time. But that's going to look nice, and
brilliant.
It's your nice single aluminium 9006 silver is the colour of that. So the wheels and the steps, all the silver will be done the same as that, and finished with HS lacquer.
So the cover, John, is not just to protect them, but say for instance if you left the door open and a bird flies in and poos on it, you got to have protection.
You don't want any unnecessary hassle in a job like this at all. And when you go assembling the truck and you come out here, hello Bailey.
Hey, we got Bailey here.
And when you go assembling the truck, you just come out here and you get your parts. Like if you get them from the new Scania, those are air breather box. It'll never be seen again, but it was a bit rusty. But as you can see now, it's nice. I'm happy enough with that. It's the air box bottom cover and other little bits and pieces. Here's a steering wheel we got done. It's an older steering wheel.
Great work on it.
And
the bubble wrap.
Yeah, it's going to be nice when it's finished and we get the seats retrimmed as well, and it'll blend in with.
Just turn it around, John, so we can see the finish at the back.
It'll blend in nicely with the. It'll blend in nicely with the truck. We'll try and get a nice original finish on the truck with the grey chassis and grey hubs.
How much did that cost, John?
That was €280.
All right, recovery.
Yeah, and those are your original plastics that came on the truck, and we did them with a nice semi-matte black. It's a NATO paint, and it gives a nice finish as to when the part was new.
Yeah. And
it's trying to stay away from the high build-up shiny paint for those parts. They just look nicer when they're done like that. So that's about it. I think we'll have a cup of tea now, and then we'll be back with the finished truck in about 10 minutes, I think.
Okay, we're just walking back into the garage because I just want to show you guys. A lot of work has been done to the truck. So it's been completely resprayed, the cab. The doors have been taken off. The windscreen has been taken out. There will be a new windscreen going in, of course, like we said. And yeah, now the panels, wait till I show you what's been done to the truck, guys. So these door cards are going to be resprayed, and the material is going to be here, all along this panel here, and a bit of stitching. And then the headlining is going to be all this type of material, and other panels as well. But that's going to look quite well when it's finished. And also the seats would be covered in this material. So yeah, let's just have a look inside, guys, because would you believe the whole interior has been taken out of the 164? Unbelievable. So John was 2 days taking out the whole interior of the truck. And you see those two vents at the back of the cab. When John took out all of the lining, he said that there was dead flies, hundreds of them, between the insulation and the bodywork of the truck. And they were all dead down here as well. Hundreds of dead flies. But wow, that's something else, isn't it? So they have a golden opportunity now to properly insulate this truck and have it even quieter inside the cab with proper insulation all around the panels there. So all that's left now is the gear stick and the dashboard. And the dashboard is going to be resprayed inside the cab. So they won't be taking out this. And yeah, looking great, isn't it? Obviously this is for left-hand drive. Your gear stick will be there. But yeah, that's a lot of work, guys. A lot of work. So well done to John. when we come back, which is literally the next clip, this truck is going to be finished. So let's go. Okay, so fast forward a long time later, and we're here to make the big reveal. Behind this is the finished truck. Would you believe that? So yes, we have fast forward a long time. And this, you're gonna see the finished truck behind here. So let's do the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is! It's all finished, the 164L V8 480. Let's have a look. So John, that didn't take long at all. Literally only 5 seconds, and we're back.
Well, it's done anyways.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have a walk around and tell us what you did, John. Well, I know there's a brand new windscreen, but there's just so much work gone into this truck.
Well, this truck came out of Scania new in 03.
Yeah.
It's been working since, and it needed a nice revamp. And we tried to keep it as original as we could, as the owner wanted. So anything really it needed, it got. Everything from door locks, ironworks, hinges, wheel bearings, all the running gear.
Full respray.
A full respray. Yeah. Everything we took apart that was good enough to paint, we painted it, and that wasn't good enough, we replaced it with either second hand or new.
Yeah.
You know, and that goes for everything, pipes and valves and.
But we're just gonna hop in. Wait until you see the interior. Like as they saw already, John, the whole interior ripped out.
Yeah, and again we got a nice original, nice smooth, clean look. I think it's what the owner wanted, and it's nice.
Yeah, and just have a look in here. Look. I mean, it's just. Can I get a? No, it's too dark. But it's just unreal. All the work on the chassis. But it's just a huge amount of work, John. Brand new fifth wheel?
A new fifth wheel.
Yeah.
The fifth wheel we did change. Those are the original wheels that came on it from new.
All right,
Those
front and back. Yeah.
Those are the original alloys.
All right.
We cleaned them up and we spread them with.
Oh yeah, so they are aluminium wheels.
They're alloy wheels. They're the original alloys. They weren't dual press. They're the original alloys.
All right.
And we just cleaned them up and.
So they've just been sprayed up, yeah.
They're just sprayed up with silver base and a lacquer.
Yeah. And new backlights?
Yeah, everything original again. That would be the way it came new. We didn't go for double tail lights or anything like that. We just kept with new airbags, new shocks.
New airbags and shocks?
Anything it needed airtime. All new bolts, nuts, bolts, pins and everything like that. There's no air leaks. So everything is pretty
brilliant.
It's pretty much good now, you know.
And the tanks were okay, John, yeah?
They're the original tanks, yeah. They're the original tanks. So again, we just brought them back down, brought the nice smooth coat of aluminium, put a coat of base on them, a bit of lacquer on them, and all those catwalks are original. Those are the original battery box tops. Just kept cleaning it, and that's the original. All in there is original as well.
Yeah.
Polished up a bit of the exhaust pipe on it.
Yeah.
Just make everything look nice and clean, and just make everything good, you know.
Now, John, the whole interior rip out was actually brought upon by removing these vents, because you removed these obviously to respray the whole cab, but
we weren't going on anything with the inside of the truck. It wasn't too bad until we decided for painting the cab, get out those black vents because a bit of rust coming around them, and I think we asked several people, even in Scania, how do we get them out? Nobody could tell us. So eventually we started routing at the roof, and then we had the back wall out, and again we got them out. They were the last thing to come out, with everything out the truck. So we took out the dash, and then we said when we have everything out, we'd reupholster it, and then we said we'd change the look on it, and we'd paint all the plastics, and we'd do the seats and the steering wheel, and we did everything inside really.
So the steering wheel has been reupholstered, of course. You'll see that recovered with leather. But it's spotless, John. It's really like, you've done an incredible job in this.
That's the way they should be done, you know.
And this door, of course, had to be straightened. Oh yeah, John, the door locks, did you change them?
There's a new barrel.
New barrel, because they all give trouble.
They do get a bit...
But just look how clean this is. Look at it.
And we done all those. That's the original paneling, and we just did it in the original colour again. And we used the anodised bolts there again, and we had to do a bit of revamping on the inside. We had to change some things, but again we removed the bunk, the top bunk that comes out on top, and we lowered the bottom bunk.
Oh yeah, you removed the top bunk,
Put it back in, put the microwave over that. So
look at the whole door panel here, all reupholstered and all sprayed black.
Sprayed all that back. That's the leather we got fitted, and we didn't go for any V8 logos or anything like that.
But yeah, the steering wheel, of course, has been recovered with leather. Great job done on that. So the whole dashboard, John, was resprayed black.
Everything was out.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this is the way it should have came out of the factory.
It would be nice to get it out of the factory like this.
Yeah. You see, the original colour was this grey, which is horrible.
We just left
like,
that bit around the top. We may change it again sometime. I don't know.
But this black makes it look more classier or something. And yeah, of course, the gearbox 3/3, and you can split it, and we can fold it down like that as well. So your splitter switch and your range changer. And oh yeah, the retarder's actually still working. It's not working on our one.
Everything works on this truck now. There's nothing that doesn't work on it.
Yeah.
And
the bed as well, completely reupholstered. So all of this lining that you see all around the roof and the walls of the cab has all been reupholstered, and all the cabinets there, they were all grey, all resprayed as well, and up here as well, all sprayed black. But just, yeah, John, it's like a brand new truck inside. It's just fantastic.
we got the smell to go with it as well.
Yeah, it actually has a lovely smell in it. Yeah. And let me just move back a small bit and just show you the driver's seat.
That's Alcantara.
And leather. Yeah,
on the outside. Yeah,
looks class. No, there's been great work done to this. It's spotless. Huh? Were you looking for 2 new seats, John, or?
Yeah, big trouble getting 4 series seats. So we got these over an R500, and we changed the bases as well. But they fit nice, and they look nice as well, and they work well. So
yeah.
We just put them in. They're a little different than the originals, but then again, this is a little bit different than the original way it came out of the factory. And this is the way the owner wanted it, and it's nice. It is nice, and it looks nice, and it's lovely to drive as well. We re-insulated all the inside of the cab.
Oh yes, that was an important part as well, John. You actually put better insulation inside the whole cab.
Insulated all the interior, all the steel, all behind that padding, every bit was insulated, all fitted, cut and fitted and stuck onto the wall, and you can notice to drive it. The level of sound is really, really low.
Oh, brilliant!
Lovely, yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, that was fantastic to get that done. But and it actually brightens up the whole interior as well. Like, if you were to look at our one, the comparison with it all grey, this just lifts the whole interior. Like,
well, the black and cream, I actually got that idea from the actress.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So,
no, it's great. But and the whole dashboard, as we said,
and we tightened up all those handles and with weld pieces into
oh yes, these handles always get trouble. Yeah, notorious for getting loose. And of course the doors are notorious for dropping as well on the hinges.
So a lot of welding to do, and you know, making good, and just to get everything. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of money, of course. But
oh yeah, like how much would we be talking, John?
This job, I actually went through it before I came out, and the parts on this job. There's a new windscreen gone into it. There's
new headlights,
paint bill, headlights, brakes, running gears done. The cost on that was about 35,000, and the labour on it was around 17,000.
Whoa!
And we wouldn't be overly paid at that.
Yeah.
You know, but look, it's done over 2 years. It's a nice pastime, and it's nice to get a finish on a job like this, and it's nice to drive this too. And it's iconic. It's a V8 Scania.
Yeah.
It's nice to take it out and bring it for a drive, and do whatever you like with it.
But that's 2 years, John. Like over weekends. That's not during the week or anything.
No. It could be bank holidays.
Yeah.
You know, if you had a few days off, or a Saturday night, or whenever, like, you know. So it's a nice pastime as well, and you really have to enjoy this work, or you won't get this detail on it.
Yeah.
To finish it, you know. So
it's absolutely fantastic. Great work.
I painted the centre of the steering wheel.
Oh, you painted this as well?
I did, because I had it done in a gloss, I didn't like it, and then we just put the matte black on.
Yeah.
And
will we give it one quick start up, John?
Yeah.
May as well. Here we go. There you go. Oh yeah. Fantastic, John. You've done a great job. Well done.
And he's ready for the quarry.
Okay, so we've just taken it out into the sunlight. What a huge amount of work done to this truck. 19 years of age, 164L V8 480. And the owner is just about to take it home now. So a huge thanks to John for having me have a look around this truck. What a restoration job. Fantastic. But I will leave you all there. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll chat to you all again next time for another video. Thanks for watching. Cheers! And John, this truck could have won a prize at Full of the Pipe this year, only he was a judge. Yeah, and he can't judge this truck.
You can't.
So, John,
you can't let politics interfere with your work.
John, you cost the owner of this truck a prize, like a trophy.
You cannot let politics interfere with your work.
Huh?